What's going on, Instagram fam? This is your boy Tommy Rodriguez with my boy Henry Rowe. Flew out here to Viva Las Vegas to do another live with an Amazon automation client.
How's it going? I'm Henry. I'm 23 years old. I live out here in Las Vegas now. I'm originally from outside Boston. Been living out here for about 6 months. I got a bit of a business opportunity out here from a friend, fixing up foreign Japanese cars.
Okay.
We're kind of starting kind of like a custom shop.
Okay.
Building kind of like drift style Japanese cars. So I'm originally an auto technician. I worked at a BMW dealership back home for a while. Went to college for that. Kind of did that for a couple of years until I couldn't do the corporate. I had to get out of it before I got stuck in that. And that was probably around 2 years ago, right around the same time that I found your service. So
2 years?
2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago. And it all kind of lined up where I was on my way out at BMW, and I had, done enough research on everything that you were doing that I was ready to pull the trigger. And everything else since then has just been kind of slowly building up. The store was going good for a while, and then we got suspended last March, right as COVID hit America. I think a lot of people were panic buying products, and my store wasn't able to fulfill the volume of orders of water and food and all these safety things. So I got hit with inauthentic claims, I think like March 10th of last year, and was suspended for a while. I think it was like 12, 13 months.
Long time to be suspended.
Very long time.
What kind of emotions were you feeling when you were suspended, and did Amazon hold any of your money?
I was telling him earlier that I was actually traveling to Florida when I found out that my store was facing suspension. I had a whole weekend planned where I wasn't going to be on my phone very much, and I saw the sales going up, and I was really pumped. And then the next day it said that we were going to get suspended. So it was tough. Definitely a little scary at first. Didn't know what my next steps were supposed to be, what I was supposed to do. And then Amazon locked up around, I think it was $20,000 originally, and then after all the returns and cancellations, they held about $18,500 for a whole year. So I'd heard that if you applied a certain way to Amazon that they would release your money in 90 days, and I guess just based off the suspension I had, they were not going to do that. So it was definitely tough. A lot of back and forth, a lot of just telling myself, you just got to be patient, like don't freak out, let's just do what we can right now, let's just do what's right in front of us. And that was basically just sending appeal after appeal after appeal, and waiting sometimes weeks on end for Amazon to respond, just to find out that it wasn't enough and they wanted more. So it was a big waiting game. Definitely a little grueling, but...
Inauthentic claims is something that was hitting maybe 1 out of every 300 clients prior to the year 2021. If you watch some of my other lives, even my most recent one I did in Boulder, Colorado, that inauthentic claims and a few other certain type of violations is usually formed of Amazon FBA sellers, other copycat Amazon automation services, to a bunch of people who do black hat type of style on Amazon, meaning they have like 50 plus accounts and they just want to report you and get you shut down, to regular customers, to all types of different kind of competition, to where they would go in your store, they would try to shut you down by claiming to Amazon this was fake, claiming to Amazon this, and this. So there's so many different factors on why you can get shut down, and an inauthentic claim is something that me, my team, any other sellers on Amazon, we have really no control, because they're asking for certain things to prove that the item is legitimate. Inauthentic claims is not something that we can really control, but we can get them back. Obviously, Henry's obviously living proof. Now, I want to just kind of touch upon a few other things before we dive into some more stuff in regards to this. Again, we're out here in Las Vegas. I did a live yesterday, and someone was like, some random troll came onto the video and they were like, hey man, what's up with people getting suspended and it's too scared to talk about it and this and that. Now granted guys, this was just a troll, right? People, if you watched, again, any of my videos, if you read the contract, if you hop on the sales team the call with my sales team to answer any of your questions outside of my, sales video. We talk about suspensions more than I talk about any part of the business because it is a real risk. And I'd rather weed out so many people from buying my service than 100 people coming in and saying, look, I didn't know suspension was real. I thought this, I thought that. I'd rather talk to you like, look, this is a real thing. What can happen is you can get suspended for days, for weeks, for months, obviously for a year. Obviously his case was a little different than the traditional late shipments and A to Z claims and canceling products and stuff like that. Those are traditionally easier to get back, and it's usually not, a year wait. But at the same time, it is a real risk. And I like to talk about, again, the real bullshit because, again, if it scares somebody from buying my service, that's perfectly fine. However, at the end of the day, it's made to be supplemental. What that means is that you should already have a job, another business, another income, something else where this is just gonna help you make an extra $2K a month to some of my clients making $50,000 to $100,000 net profit per month. Of course, it's all gonna vary on the BAs, to their issues on their store, to capital, to problems, to how long this store has been established, so many different variables. And I do preach that this is a 12 to 18 month investment. So again, you might make your money back in less than 12 months, or it could be up to 18 months to 20 months. It's not guaranteed. My results of my clients do not dictate or guarantee any kind of future results for any person that might be watching this video. So you've been in for what, about 15, 16 months, would you say? A little longer?
More. Yeah, a little longer, because we got set up at, I signed the contract. I think you were taking you were taking your last 10, your last 20 clients. So I got in, I hit the mark. I knew this is something I wanted to do and I wanted to be a part of it now. So it took a couple months to get going. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on the back end, and then being a new store, obviously, and you let everybody know this, it's going to start slow.
Yes.
So it started slow, not terribly slow, just a comfortable, safe amount of sales. Obviously, the profit margin is going to be lower just to get your orders up, which I had no issue with. But yeah, I think we did probably maybe 4 or 5 months of little sales between September to January.
So September 2019, right?
Yeah.
So, and guys, just to give clarity again. So he bought in maybe a little before July, August of 2019.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Now there is a little bit of initial setup that you guys have to get done. Tax exempt, setting up your Amazon account, making sure that you have your LLC. You should probably have your LLC and your business formed first before you obviously decide to pull the trigger and get in, because it's obviously you'll be taxed better, okay? And you don't obviously have to pay as much tax, and you don't want to join a business or a service where you're going to be taxed as an individual. Again, obviously consult your own CPA, your own bookkeeper that can obviously answer your legal tax questions in regards to stuff like that. So you've been in for a while. I think your store was averaging anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then you got hit with inauthentic. When did we just get it back? Was it? I believe it was. I don't know exact day. I don't know if you remember it, but I'm sure that was an epic moment for you.
Yeah, middle of March. I'm trying to remember exactly when, but I think I just woke up and we were back, and I was like, is this even real? And sure enough, it was. I think I even had some sales before I even realized that I was out of suspension. So I pulled my account up. There's no more red box saying you're deactivated, and there was some sales there. I said, okay, we're back. This is great, and it really took off from there.
Now, one thing to understand, obviously, before we dive into that stuff, like you said, that when your store is first getting started, or even established store coming out of suspension, we want to balance out what you call your metrics. It's basically like an account health on Amazon so that you don't get suspended. So you want to have lower ticket items and items that might potentially break even, so that if you get hit with an A to Z claim, a chargeback, negative feedback, any of these things that sometimes are just really out of our control, that your store can take the hit. Because basically on Amazon it works like this: for every 100 orders that you have, realistically, especially as far as the order defect rate is concerned, you're allowed to have one fuck up. Which, if you really want to get technical, it's like they want you to be fucking perfect. And I honestly think it's just straight bullshit, but it's not my platform. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I can't obviously control shit like that. But so in the terms of obviously balancing out the store, we have products that sell for breaking even, to some products that maybe we were selling at a profit and maybe now it's sold on their store. and instead of canceling, which would hurt your account, we might obviously have to move forward and process the order, and somebody might take $1, $2 loss just for the sake of preserving and protecting the account, and that we'll recover that overall with cash back on their credit card or cash profits from just some cashback sites that we use, or just overall from the net profit itself. So
we want to do day sales?
Last 30 days, almost $200,000 in sales. Now, for the fucking month of March, he did about $120,000. The return, again, will show the numbers. The ROI was definitely traditionally lower than some other clients, but that's why I've always preached that the ROI is not going to be steady for everybody. Like, you're not going to make 10% every fucking month, or 20 or 30 or 40 like some of my other clients. It does vary. Some clients might make 40% one month. The next month they might make 10, because now we're trying to balance out the store. So his, I believe, was about 7%.
Yeah, plus there was a week off in those last 30 days too. I don't think we put the store in vacation mode, but I contacted the VAs. I said, hey, I got to pay Amex. I just got this new American Express card. We can talk about that a little bit if you want.
Yeah.
They told me, slow down for a minute, make a payment, and then
was your store off, or?
I don't think we ever turned it off. I just messaged them and said I got to slow down for a minute. I got to pay this bill to increase my spending power. So I think what they did was probably just pulled off
Hot selling items.
The hot sellers, yeah. So a few days off while I was waiting for the Amazon payment to hit my bank account, and then there's the weekend too. So there's a couple days where we didn't do any sales, but following Monday we were just right back at it and pumping again, doing some days 8, 9, 10,000 in sales in a day.
How does that feel?
It's pretty crazy to see it, honestly, because coming from a year ago where I was so hyped to do my first 1,000, take a screenshot, show everybody. First 10,000, take a screenshot, show anybody. Then now, right when it started, and I was like, holy shit, like 6,000 in sales in a day. Do that over and over and over again. When I hit the first 100,000, it feels pretty crazy. It's almost too good to be true sometimes.
Yeah. Do you do any actual legwork though? Like, do you process orders? Do you do anything at all?
No. So there's not anything I have to do. No. There's been times where, like, I'm sure some people like to, I like to see what's going on. And I know a while back I used to like read customers' comments and be like, oh, they need some help, or hopefully we got that. But now we got the scripts and everything. It's just like clockwork. Like, they have, I just get the emails and, I check on things. The only things I do on my end is the taxes, which isn't anything to do with actual Amazon seller. But no, I don't, do anything except put up the credit and pay the taxes. And
how much credit and what kind of card did you come in with before we dive into the profits?
So I didn't have any business background established when I first got into it. I created the LLC, obviously, and then probably a month or two after having the LLC, I started applying for credit cards. And I was probably 20 at the time too. So I've had a credit card since I was like 15, luckily.
Yeah.
So I had decent credit history, and I have a great credit score. I don't miss payments, but I applied for a good handful of credit cards. Just being in the group, I knew that Amex is praised with e-commerce, so I tried for Amex. I got declined, sadly. There's a couple different cards I got declined on, but I ended up getting the Chase Inc. business card.
Okay.
It was a cashback card. I think it was like 2% cashback on any purchase. I got in with that card, I think, at around like 10K limit. It was, it was not much. So I had to work around that, and then, every couple weeks, couple months, call Chase, bump the credit limit up. So I got the credit limit bumped up to like 25K. Last March we were doing I think we did like 30 to 40,000 in sales. So it was the first time where I was like, okay, we're using all this credit, pay off the credit card, revolve it. But once I got suspended and they locked up my money, I had to pay off my credit card and then just wait. So I waited. I knew that Chase card was okay, but it wasn't going to be the card that I needed.
Yeah.
So luckily, right when I got my store back up, I think the same week, I called Amex back and told them what I was projecting to do in sales, what I was projecting to do in profit, and luckily I got the Amex Business Platinum,
Okay.
and we've just been working on bumping the spending power up.
How much do you have on that now?
Spending power?
On the Amex,
I think-
full credit altogether.
I think it's around 90,000.
That's a big change from 10 to almost
Yeah.
$100,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot more capital. I mean, you still need $6,000, and that's after refunds, and that's before the website kind of cash backs, meaning that cash sites that we use, he has $1,700 in cash back. Of course, that's not guaranteed. It's made to be just kind of extra. If it actually applies to your account, it applies, but that's why it doesn't go towards the 70-30 split. And I believe before this call, you said you accumulated another $500, $600 just in credit card points alone.
Yeah.
And again, this was all the month prior. His ROI and his numbers are obviously he's almost at 200,000 in sales, and obviously I can't make any guarantee of claims of what the numbers should look like right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has already made that in the last 30 days or just creeping up into this month. It was $80,000 in sales in the last 7 days.
This month.
So this month, 97,000, almost $100,000 already in the first 10 days. Despite it being obviously about a year and a half for you, are you still happy with making $6K and straight?
Yeah, most definitely. I never really got too discouraged, but just to see the money coming back that I can just reinvest it to get more sales per month, it's just, it feels now like a real business. We're actually taken off, and it was a long time coming, but it was worth the wait. Yeah, honestly. Yep.
What do you think about the Facebook group besides obviously that? What do you observe? Do you feel like it's helpful? Do you feel like what do you see in the group alone on Facebook?
Yeah, so I really like the group. Obviously, being in suspension for a month or a year, it's tough. It's hard. So anybody that I've seen in those same footsteps, it's hard, and obviously they understand that it's a waiting game. But for me, I really like the group. At times when I was suspended, I didn't check on it as much just because it's hard to see when you first log in, someone bam 200,000 in sales in a month, and you're been stuck in suspension for 8 months. You're like, well,
sucks.
When's it gonna be my time? Yeah, but you just gotta wait it out. I do see a lot of people in the group that get pretty, upset or, apprehensive that this money's not working for them. And I get it. It's definitely stressful. It's definitely difficult when you just don't really have any control over your situation. But, there's a lot of support and positivity in that group. It's really awesome. When I did post, any times that I do post, which is pretty rare, the amount of support and the hearts and the likes and people saying good for you, keep it up, it feels really great. But also there's people that express their concerns and frustrations, and it's fair. Some people are more vocal with it than others, but
Yep.
So it's the Amex Business Platinum card. I hear the word, charge card thrown out around a lot. I personally don't fully understand the difference in it all right now, but I know the Amex, the Platinum Business, and I think I don't know about the Gold. I'm not going to speak on the Gold, but they set it up so that you don't have a credit limit, you have spending power. So the more volume your store is going to do, the more credit Amex is going to provide for you. So I was, graced to have the card line up with right when my store started. So they said, apply the card and then do as many sales as you can, just because it's algorithm based. So
makes sense.
Amex will, cap you if you're not doing that many sales in a month, and then you're gonna kind of work up. So I was blessed to be able to start my sales and do the best month I've ever done with the new card. So that definitely helped to get my spending power pretty high. But as far as a charge card goes, I don't fully know the difference in the two.
I don't even know the difference.
Yeah.
I used to know it, but I can't think of it obviously off the top of this video. So I think we said it was about 90,000. You said
for sales?
No, like 90. What you had capital? So 90, 100,000 to play with.
Yeah.
$90 to $100,000, give or take. And it's still right now in the last 30 days is creeping on 200,000. And this is pretty almost fresh out of a suspension, about 35, maybe 40 days ago, give or take. We have scripts that we've uploaded that I wrote. We have about 10 plus scripts that if you get a 72-hour warning, Amazon usually gives you 72 hours. You have no problem. You can send in your own scripts from the Fresh Desk if you want to. However, obviously we have our own stuff coming out where we're going to be able to utilize sending in the 72-hour scripts on your behalf first before it gets to the actual suspension. But some people do micromanage their store. But sometimes the VAs do fuck up and they do make mistakes. They are human. We can't expect all the VAs to perform the same like, everyone, but we are working on trying to make each VA employee way more suitable and accountable so that everyone kind of really has the same, equal, growing stages and stuff like that, if that makes sense. So $30,000 is the cost currently right now as of the time that I'm making this video. Obviously, we have talked about the price is subjected to change, maybe even again this year. We did just go up as of 2021. $30,000, expect 12 to 18 months, again, give or take. I'm not making a promise. I have to really disclaim the shit out of that. That you will make it back within that time frame. It could be less, could be longer, a little bit longer. Don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose in a business or a service at the end of the day. As far as capital, recommended capital is about $20,000 to start on a credit card. And we have that again outlined in the newer contracts that we've made in the last 1 or 2 years as well, so that people don't come in here with $5,000 and they want to make $100,000 profit in 1 month. It's not going to happen. So
just trust the process, have faith, be patient. It's going to pay off, whether you're in suspension, whether you're not in suspension, or whether you're hoping your store does a little more than it's doing right now. Just be transparent, be communicative. That's one big thing, is the communication. Like I wasn't very vocal in the group and I was suspended, so me not saying anything, he thought I was pissed at him. So
I did.
I mean, it's okay to vocalize your concerns, your issues, your frustrations, but do it in a way that it's constructive and it's you can move forward from it. You don't want to kill a relationship before it even starts just because you're unhappy that your store is not doing as much as the guy who just posted in the group. So I mean, trust the process, trust the teams.
We say that word all the time before we wrap it up. Trust the damn process. And as I said, I swear, I cuss, it's just because that's just who I am. And a lot of people that watch my videos and stuff like that, they don't give a shit if I swear, if I cuss, if I sound unprofessional. What they care about is the results. Tommy Rodriguez, should I say, is me. Automation Empire is my brand, right? So me cussing and swearing has nothing to do with how I run my business. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know there's some people who might get offended or might not like my personality, and that's perfectly fine. This business isn't for everyone, and I don't want everyone. That's why we have a qualification call, just to make sure that we even want to work with you and vice versa to begin with. So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. This video is long enough. Appreciate every single one of you guys coming on. Appreciate my boy Henry for letting me come out to Viva Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Let's get it, baby.